Hi, Florentino. It's Aussie Villain. Yeah, mate, I'm the new Wales manager. Yeah, it's getting announced today. No, Giggs has some other stuff going on right now. Yeah, but listen, mate, I'm trying to find Gareth Bale. Yeah, no, I called Tottenham and they said they sent him back to you. Of course, the golf course. Alright, mate, I'll check there. What's that? No, mate, I don't want to join your friggin' Super League. Gareth, mate, you're a tough man to find. But look, I just want to make sure you're good to go for the Euros this summer. Excellent. So it is still Wales, Golf Madrid then? Perfect, mate, perfect. Well, I'm announcing the squad shortly, so keep your ears open for that, and, well, I'll see you at training. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Wales for Euro 2020. We're going to see how far we can go with the Welsh in the tournament. Now, straight off the top, YouTube admin, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I'm get notified when I upload new episodes. If you can, hit thumbs up to like the video for me. That'll help YouTube recommend it to more people. Leave all the comments and feedback you can. And, of course, if you want to follow me on social media, there's links to my Discord and Twitter and all sorts of things down in the description as well. Oh, and at the top there, we're doing a Euro Predictor as well. So if you want to join in that, just for fun, there's no prizes or anything, but there'll be a link for that in the top of the description as well. But, yeah. We are at Wales and we are going to see how far we can take them in the Euros. So let's have a quick look here and see, well, we'll get to the squad announcement in just a second, but what are we expecting to do in the competition? Be competitive, basically. That's what the board want, or the FA, I should say, want. So there is no real expectation on us. We have a look at the group that we've drawn. We can see us here, Group A. Now, Italy are going to be tough, aren't they? The Swiss, the Turks, and ourselves. Potentially, of course, 3 teams get through the group. We're going to need to, if we can take anything off Italy and then see what we can do. You know, if we can get 4 points off maybe Switzerland, Turkey, and maybe a point off Italy, 5 points should get us through. Typically, in these sorts of situations, 3 points and a positive goal difference is enough to get you through. 4 points will almost guarantee it. So that's what we need to do. We need to look at where we're getting 4 points from. The Swiss and the Turks seem to be the most likely, the most obvious candidates for that, don't they? So, let's have a look at this squad that we've selected, shall we? Now, what we'll do is we'll go through one player at a time here. So, the goalkeepers, we've picked 3 of them. Wayne Hennessy is the first one. I suspect he will be our number 1, well, certainly to start the tournament. We have organised 3 friendlies before the Euros start, so we'll have a look at all the goalkeepers in that one. So, Wayne Hennessy comes in, 34, 90 caps, very well known to Welsh fans. He is one of the goalkeepers. Second is somebody that I have rated very highly, though his career hasn't really kicked on as you would have hoped, but Denny Ward. He's 27, 13 caps. I think, well, it'll be between him and Hennessy as to exactly who it is that gets the number 1 shirt, I'm suspecting. Denny Ward is sort of a little bit better at claiming crosses in the air, that kind of stuff, whereas I think that Hennessy is sort of the better shot stopper, so it's going to kind of depend how we play, and I suspect we're going to be playing a higher line anyway, which will probably mean that we want the better shot stopper rather than somebody that's going to be sort of sitting back to claim crosses. But that's to be decided. And the third goalkeeper from Sporting KC in MLS is Adam Davies. Only the 1 cap for him. He is sort of he's a little bit of a poor man's Denny Ward, really, isn't he? Not quite as good a shot stopper as him and not quite as good in the air, but he's third choice, and, well, if we see him at some point in the tournament, then something's gone horribly wrong, hasn't it? So they're our goalkeepers. Let's go and have a look at the defenders we've chosen. If we start at centre-back, Joe Rodden is obviously a very, very good centre-back for Wales. He's at Spurs in real life, 23, 10 caps. I am suspecting he will be one of our starting centre-backs. We'll play around with formations and that again in the friendlies, but whether we play a 2 or a 3, you expect him to feature. The next man is Tom Lockyer. This is in no particular order, just the order that it's in the squad screen. He's 26 years old at Luton, 10 caps for him. I don't think he's going to be first choice. Maybe if we play with a back 3, he could get a look in. But he's very much here for cover. And I tell you what, he's a good solid centre back as well. So he's here. The next man is, I think, going to be vice-captain of the squad, but Chris Mepham. He's a very, very good player, isn't he? A ball-playing centre-back. He, along with Rodden, will be our first choice too, and then if we play a 3, we'll add somebody in. 23, 14 caps, 1 goal at Bournemouth in real life. Though you suspect in real life he'll probably end up in the Premier League this summer. If he wants to come to Villa, I'd be very happy to have him. But he's very good, isn't he? He's got all the sort of key mental attributes you want from a defender, as well as the technical and physical. So, yeah, very, very good defender for us, hopefully. The next centre-back, again, is somebody I don't think we'll see too much of. I think it's Kieran Harris. The reason we've picked him, he's a solid centre-back. He can also move forward a little bit, and he can also, in theory anyway, if not according to this, play at left back. So he covers a few positions, which is always useful to have in a tournament, a player or a couple of players like this. So he's at Bristol Rovers in real life, only playing in Sky Bet League 1. But like I say, we're picking off of attributes. He's going to be a useful squad player just because he can cover those few positions for us. He does not have a cap yet. He'll be making his debut in a friendly, it looks like. The next man, Ethan Ampadu, he could play as a centre-back. He obviously can step forward as well. He is another one. He could well be the third centre-back. It's difficult because obviously there's a high potential there, but if we're looking at it just at the tournament, we need the current ability, and just off of what we see in front of us here, he's maybe third best, he's maybe not, but he will feature, I have no doubt, in the tournament. Of course, on loan from Chelsea at Sheffield United, I think he is in real life, isn't he? 19 caps, 1 goal for him, only 20, and obviously he is going to be a reasonably big part of our team. And the final man that is sort of here as a centre-back, but also sort of here as a full-back, is Morgan Fox, 27 years old. He's, again, in MLS at New England. No caps for him. But what I like about him, again, he's a solid centre-back. He's a solid left-back. He can play wing-back as well, obviously. He can cover as a defensive midfielder if we need him to. Again, if we see him in the tournament, something's probably gone a little bit wrong. But I just like the attributes here. So again, somebody we will be looking to give a debut to in the friendly, see how he copes with international football. But I suspect he could be a useful player for us. So this brings us on to right back, the first of which is Connor Roberts, 25 years old, 22 caps, a single goal. He's at Swansea in game, if not in real life. Some of these, they may have been transfers through the season in FM, obviously. But yeah, a very, very good right back. He's not the worst in the air. He's got decent stamina, good work rate and teamwork as well. So he'll get up and down that right wing for us and hopefully do a good job. And the other right back we've chosen is, of course, Neco Williams at Liverpool. Very, very good. Yeah, I mean, he's just a very, very good right back, isn't he? Better as a wing back. Depends on, again, how we play. But he'll be attacking down that right-hand side. He's not the worst defensively. And hopefully he'll do a very, very good job for us. And this brings us, of course, to left back. And the first man is Ben Davies, or Davies even, 28 years old. 58 caps, a single goal. He's a stalwart, isn't he, of the Welsh side, and I suspect he will be a big part of anything we do in this tournament. Good defensively, good getting forward, just a good, solid, complete wing-back, isn't he? So that's the first man, and his deputy will be Barla Town legend, of course, Rhys Norrington Davies, if you followed the Impossible Dream last FM at Barla Town. That played a small role in it, I'll be honest, the fact that that I know him, but again, he's a good solid left back. He'll only be back up to Ben Davies, but if we need him to play, I have full faith he'll be able to do that. Only the 1 cap, 22 years old, on loan from Sheffield United. Looks like he's at Stoke, but yeah, based off the badge there. So that concludes our defensive selections. Let's have a look at midfield. First man is the captain of Wales, Aaron Ramsey. Now, in the game, he has transferred to Zenit. I don't believe that's happened in real life. But he's 30, 68 caps, 17 goals. Again, he's going to be a massive part of anything we can do in this tournament. You don't need to explain Aaron Ramsey, do you? Everybody knows him. He's good, and hopefully he'll be good for us. Next man is Joe Allen. A little bit of experience here. I almost didn't pick him. The reason I did is A, because he can cover in defensively for us, and B, he's just solid. As a man, he's not. He's a midget, isn't he? But as a footballer, he's solid. Good work rate, good teamwork, good passing, good first touch. My hope is that late in the game, if we are, if we're in front, if we're lucky enough to be in front, he's someone that we can bring off the bench, who doesn't have the best composure, but just helps see out a game for us. So he'll only be here as backup, but let's hope that he does a good job if we need him. Next up, it's Will Vokes, 27 years old, 7 caps, no goals. He's at Cardiff in the game. I'm not sure where he is in real life, if he's Cardiff or not. Again, it's a little bit like Joe Allen. He can cover both sort of the positions in midfield we'd want him to, and he's just solid. There's no real weakness in his game. Equally, you'd argue there's no real strength either, but just a solid midfielder, and sometimes in midfield, that's just what you need, isn't it? So he'll be there if we need him. Next up, it's Dylan Levitt. Now on loan from Manchester United, I'm going to assume that's Norwich. No, he's in Croatia. But either way, 2 caps, 20 years old, and this is someone that we've come across, if you've watched the channel for a while, back at Hearts, we had him on loan. Good passer, good vision, good first touch. I think he's going to actually be quite a big part of our team. I really like the cut of his jib, let's say. So yeah, I think Dylan Levitt is going to definitely add to those 2 caps through this Euro tournament. I'm curious to actually see what he's like in real life, if he does play for the Wales in the Euros in real life. And the final central midfielder before we start getting to our more attacking players is Joe Morrell, 24 years old, 11 caps, 1 goal. He is at Luton in the Championship. Again, a little bit like most of the midfielders. Just solid. He's not the best jumping reach, but again, there's no real weaknesses and there's no real strength in his game. He's just a solid all-round midfielder. And if we can get our wide players involved, or some of our more attacking players, if we just have 2, 3, whatever formation we play, guys in midfield that are just solid and don't give the ball away, close down the opposition for us, then we can go a long way in this tournament. So yeah, Joe Morrell is somebody we may see doing just that role for us. And now we come to our attacking players. These guys, some of them will play out wide, some of them will play potentially in a number 10, some of them will probably play both, and one of those guys is, I think, David Brooks. 23 years old, contracted to Bournemouth, 18 caps. I think there's a lot of Welsh players at Bournemouth, isn't there? What I like about this guy, very, very pacey. He's a midget. Is he a midget? Well, he's not actually that. He can't jump. He's weak. But he's got good flair, good dribbling, as he's left footer, so it's an inside forward or an inverted winger on the right, or potentially with that off the ball movement, vision, passing technique, he could also play as a number 10. So he's going to be one of the guys we rely on, I think, to not just create chances, but with finishing a 15, we'll need him to take some as well. Next up is the man himself, Gareth Bale. Now, I haven't really decided yet where he's going to play in this team. He could play on either wing. He could play as a number 10. Arguably, he's our best striker as well. So I haven't decided. This is what the friendlies are going to be for. But again, Gareth Bale, everybody knows what he's all about, don't they? He's 31. He's at 89 caps, 33 goals. If you've had success playing with him, let me know what position that has been. I'm wondering, as a deep-lying forward, perhaps, if we go a little bit more defensive in midfield, particularly against the Italians, maybe as a deep-lying forward, he's got good free kicks, but he's got good heading, good long shots, good passing. The vision's not fantastic, but I'm wondering if that's maybe the position that we could look to use him in. But yeah, if we win any games, Gareth Bale's going to be a big part of it, isn't he? Next man is Daniel James, Manchester United, of course, 23 years old, 16 caps, 4 goals. So it is a relatively young team, isn't it? Apart from maybe Ramsey and Ramsey, Allen, and Bale. But again, what I like about him, pace, lots and lots and lots of pace. He's right-footed, so if he does play, he will be over on the right as a winger. Crossing and dribbling, finishing, technically, he's not the best, is he? But he does have good pace, and that, especially if we're looking to play on the break against some better teams, which will be facing a lot of teams that are better than us, certainly on paper, then that pace could be very, very important. Next up, it is Harry Wilson, 24 years old, 20 caps, 4 goals. He is on loan from Liverpool at Cardiff City. Again, what I like about him, now he doesn't quite have the pace of some of the others, which makes me think potentially he could be a number 10, but he's left-footed. Technically, he's almost brilliant, isn't he? If you take out the defensive stats there, long throws, which is a bit of a nothing, doesn't really matter if you have it or not. He's very, very good. So a little bit like David Brooks, and a little bit like Gareth Bale in a sense. I mean, he could, in theory, play up front as well, though he just doesn't have the jumping reach. But yeah, he's someone that's going to be a big part of what we do going forward, and hopefully, good free kick taker as well. Yeah, hopefully we'll find a spot for him that suits him, and he'll get some goals for us. And the final of the sort of attacking ish players, the sort of, I don't know, that line of players, is Rabbi Montondo. I've got to say, and this is my ignorance, I've never heard of him before, but we found him, and again, a little bit like Daniel James, absolutely rapid. He's a better dribbler, but a worse crosser than Daniel James. Good off the ball movement, decent flair. What I'm thinking is, I mean, even if we have him down one side, James down the other, we could really hurt teams on the break with that pace. So that's what I'm thinking. He's 20 years old, 4 caps, no goals. He's on loan from Schalke at Stoke City, and yeah, I'm really curious to see this guy because, like I say, it is my ignorance, but I've never heard of him before. And this brings us to our strikers. We've picked 3 of them, and Tyler Roberts is one of them. I really didn't want to pick him, to be honest. I just couldn't find anybody else. Striking in Wales is not the strongest department, but he's 22. He's at Leeds United, 12 caps, 4 goals for Wales. He's not bad. He's solid. He's got a little bit of pace about him. There's no real weakness there, but he's not the sort of guy you want leading the line in international tournaments. He's not going to win you anything. But let's hope maybe coming off the bench, he's got a good work rate. Use him as a pressing forward. Maybe late in a game, he'll have a use for us. The next man is Liam Cullen. He is 22. He does not have a cap, so he will be making a debut. He is on loan from Swansea at Leyton Orient. Look at me knowing my badges. I probably checked before, didn't I? Probably subconsciously already knew that. But what I like about him is, unlike Tyler Roberts, he actually does look like he could score a goal for us. He's got good finishing. The mental attributes are there. He's not the strongest in the air, but if we wanted to play a 2 up top, I think we could do a lot worse than sticking him up as a poacher and just letting him put some chances away if they're created for him. I think what I really wanted, and it didn't really exist as in a Welsh player, was with so many, you've seen the sort of the number 10, the wingers that we have, is just somebody to put chances away, and this was sort of the closest guy that I could come to finding that as sort of an advanced forward poacher type. So we'll see how he goes. He's untested international level, 14 under 21 caps and only 1 goal. That doesn't fill you with confidence, but he played Sky, just saw this, he played Sky Bet League 2 this year and only managed 8 goals. So that doesn't bode well either, does it? And the final man is Kiefer Moore. And again, another guy, and it is my own ignorance, I've got to say I've never really heard of him before. But what I do like about him is that if we are going to play with wingers, jumping reach 17, strength 15, heading 15, he could get on the end of a few things for us. So is he going to start games? Maybe, to be honest. He could well start games. But, yeah, I mean, he's not our most talented striker, but what he could be is one of our most effective strikers, or attackers, not just strikers. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. 15 goals in the championship this season for Cardiff, 9 caps, 2 goals. Yeah, we'll just kind of see exactly how things play out when we get to the friendlies and before the tournament starts. But yeah, Kiefer Moore could be a very effective player for us. So that's it. That's our squad. You can have another look at it there. Ignore the team that I've sort of already got half picked there. The tactics that I'm looking at, if we're going to play 2 up top, when we could drop another centre-back back in, but that's one formation that I'm toying with. Ignore the fact that this is called 4-3-3 England. This is how one of the formations we had playing with England. Of course, we have already done the Euros with England. If you haven't watched that yet, go back to the playlist and go and watch that. That was quite the adventure. And the other formation we're looking at is basically a more attacking version of that. So that is the formation we're looking at. In terms of the schedule, we can see there we've got 3 friendlies: Senegal, Peru, and Uruguay, and then we'll get the tournament underway. Next episode will be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 5 p.m. for the series, as long as we'll just keep going as far as we can. So we'll be back next time for, well, basically our tournament, isn't it? Switzerland and Turkey. We need, I'd say, 4 points from that. and then we can take a little bit of pressure off in the Italy game. We do not want to be going into that Italy game needing to get a result to go through, do we? So that'll be next time, guys. If you've enjoyed this, as I said, please do hit thumbs up for me. It's very, very helpful and important in the first video of a series. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time as we get the Euros underway with Wales. And let me know what you think of the squad selection in the comments too. I'm curious to see what you guys think of our squad. Take care.